What's up, y'all? It's your girl Chelsea. I go by motto Chelsea Talise in Louisville, Kentucky. 502 Stand Up. I'm also a licensed mental health therapist in the state of Kentucky. So we are here today talking about Beauty and Brains. This is season 3, episode 1, Minority Mental Health Awareness Month, which takes place in July. I got my really good friend here, YGB in the building. Thank you for coming on today. Welcome, welcome. He is a very well-known artist in Louisville, Kentucky, and the tri-state area, and all over. If you've ever heard of YGBJ, so it is a privilege to have you on today. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Mr. Jack all trades, Mr. You Gotta Believe, YGBJ. And I appreciate you having me on. Like I said, I'm proud of what you're doing. And I always got time for the stuff that matters, and what you're doing matters for our people. So definitely glad to be here.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you. So we're just gonna get right into it, if you cool with that.
Yeah, let's talk.
All right, so this is Minority Mental Health Month. So when I think about minorities, obviously I think about the challenges, the obstacles, the barriers. So we'll cover all of that throughout this episode. But more in particular, right now, I wanted to know, like, if you could describe minority mental health challenges that are typically overlooked in the industry that you work in. So whether that's music, or I know you say you're a jack of all trades, so there's different industries that you can apply this to. But as far as minority mental health challenges, what do you feel is typically overlooked in your industry?
So typically, and I feel like it's like you said, it's cross all the industries I work in. I kind of pivot the application of my knowledge to different places, but I'm really based in the same area, entertainment. Um, I say it's the same thing. It is for a lot of our other issues systemically. First, going to be knowledge is what's overlooked the most, and that is the knowledge that's available and the lack thereof.
Mm.
I believe that's the one of the most overlooked challenges, because to have problems that you can't articulate, or to have problems that you can't pinpoint in conversation, I feel like is one of the most overlooked challenges for minorities, because we don't speak with each other.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't feel well to be judged, or feel like there's an opportunity for you to be judged when you speak with people of other descents or other backgrounds. So sometimes it's just overlooked that there's a disconnect of information, mainly.
I agree.
I start with that. Say in no particular order, but I try to keep the things that I feel like are heaviest in magnitude on top of the list. With that knowledge, like I said, it's paired with just the resources of mental health awareness. So like that's a challenge in itself, is just having resources. Once you get past step one of identifying and articulating emotions, which you're given to heal those emotions, sometimes in most cases worse than where we started. And I'm just speaking in the sense of the pharmaceutical world, societal outlook on mental health, coming from people who, like I said, specifically in my industry, are, I would say, culturally entertainers are painted as heroes. Right?
In what sense? Heroes.
Well, culturally speaking, in the minority community specifically, have become our heroes. And that's why the exploitation of the entertainer's emotions comes with great responsibility. And also leaves a lot of room for manipulation. So
now hold on. So to me, it's like the. Do you feel that the artist is the art?
it's crazy you asked me that question today, because I was having a conversation last night with my close, I'm more or less say mentors. Shout out to Dame DiBiase out in Radcliffe, and we was having a conversation. He ain't gonna mind me dropping his name, but we was having a conversation, and I was telling him that I learned over the past few weeks. I thought that I was selling music. You know, this is answer to your question. I thought I was selling music, so that's what I was so focused on, and I'm into the things. And I believe that in today's world, that's kind of been the focus and the idea. Mm-hmm. But what I learned from firsthand is that person is the art. Mm. And music is just a reflection. Yeah, that's the one. And the reason I say that is because that's how we ended up with these artists that we feel like aren't talented, but they're they're human for us. And their person, their persona is what's being exploited. Mm-hmm. And that's why I said a segue back, to your question and to the context of the conversation. It's like I do believe that the artist is the art. Mm-hmm. But this is something that I just now was able to articulate last night. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like I was aware and I had signs, but like last night was the first time that I had closure to say, like, okay, cool. So, and hold on. This full disclosure, y'all. This question is the artist the art. That wasn't on the roster, was it? No, YGBJ? No. We got a short list of questions. Yeah. That's why I said it was off the muscle. Yeah, it was crazy to be I won't say crazy, but it was coincidental. Yeah. Honestly, you asked me that in the place that I've been in. Mentally, like for those of us who know, you know what I'm saying, I'm just now coming into a place where I'm covering the title of an industry person. Right? Yeah, so yeah. Like being in the industry now, after having 17 years of watching the industry, sheesh. Right, I now understand songs, emotions, lyrics from my favorite artists that I didn't understand previously. Yeah. Because I was only in the space of a consumer. Mm-hmm. Now that I'm living like an artist, my awareness of mental capacities, my awareness of what it feels like to actually carry the burden is a lot different. Facts. So facts. Full evolution. Yeah, it's completely different than thinking you the man and other people thinking you. Yeah. It's two different mental responsibilities, right? Yeah, facts. Okay. So we got into it on that first question, so I'm gonna back it up just a little bit, but I appreciate you sharing kind of the tail end of that question, and we segue into the artist being the art, and I was really just coming from obviously perspective is something that can be overlooked in any industry. And you really pointed to cultural disconnection, and I think that the word healing, or just the being in love with the thought of healing and that evolution that we were just talking about with you, I feel that is overlooked as well. Just being a model and being in the fashion industry, as far as cultural disconnections, I come across all different types of backgrounds. So what some people may do to greet is different than others. Whatever hood you came from, we may look you in your eyes. We may not. We may not say anything at all. So that can cause a disconnect within multiple industries as far as how we commune, and what that looks like to have the actual healing that we talk about, because you can't heal by yourself. I think we all have a sense of mirroring, and I don't necessarily feel like it's to the point to say like-minded people and birds of a feather flock together. It's not really in that sense as much as like your counterparts are like you. And I think we don't understand the duality of life. That's what I feel like the minorities haven't been taught the same as some of the other cultures. So, for instance, right, you said something about, you said like looking people in the eyes, and in some cultures, obviously, that's a sign of disrespect depending on what the circumstances are. Mm-hmm. And comes to the connection that I feel like that we don't have, it's like I said, is being taught the duality of life. Whereas we're taught to comply, we're taught to follow order, we're taught to survive, we're taught to
be respectful.
Yeah, I mean these are we're taught humanly to be a minority. To be a minority is to be taught to be human.
Wow.
I think there was a fear of the consequences of the world. Right? Like our parents, our grandparents had a fear of what the world would do to us, so they more focused on making sure we were good people.
Yeah, of what they've already done.
Right. And then again, that's where I get the comply, follow structure. You know, those are
cultural disciplines.
Cultural disciplines that are norm for us. But because we, like I said, our life was more important. The preservation of life isn't the same as growth.
Survival mode.
And I didn't use them words specifically because I don't even think I think survival mode keeps us in a box where we don't explore the depths enough to really get problems solved. Everybody settles for the answers at survival mode, and in reality, it's not. Because, like I said, if you change the word from survival mode to preservation, because survival and preservation is the same thing. You have life.
That's true.
To have something to preserve, you've already planted the fruit, watered it, grew it, and harvested before you get to the point of preservation.
Right.
So that's why I said I can't agree with the term survival mode. Because survival mode would infer that we had nothing. We were holding on to our last. And that's not true.
I get that. From a philosophical standpoint, I get that. From a mental health standpoint, survival mode is meaning that all of your basic needs are met, and that's it. Like you can't see past making sure that you have housing, food, and clothes, safety, right? And anything outside of that, your mind can't adapt to what that looks like to be.
And I agree. And I feel like the reason why I'm manipulating the language is because that's the point of knowledge that we have to get to go and use our words in order for us to get past the systematic feeling of being in survival mode. So when I speak with the person and I tell them, well, maybe if you didn't feel like you was when you say you're in survival mode, it makes you feel as if that's a negative. It's an inference on a place of oppression. But if you accept that we weren't and aren't in survival mode and accept a place that say, okay, you were in preservation. Right. If you step into the place where you say I'm in preservation, and now I can ask you to switch from preservation to growth. But I can't ask you to go from survival mode to growth.
Right. That's
but it is. But at the same time, I am doing a disservice to what I come from. Right? Two grandparents who worked over 30 years at jobs and retired, passed away at 58, 59. I have a 50-year-old mother who's graduated from college, had 2 kids by the age of 18. So what I'm saying is that I can't say that those people survived for me to get there. They preserved that fear of that's so now we can start talking about the mental freedoms and the fears because grandma didn't go to the doctor.
Right.
At all. We talk about mental. She's not going for a common cold. What is an immediate care center? What is immediate care? We've given up the responsibility of in-home immediate care to Northlands. We had the responsibility to North. What is immediate care? Your grandmother was your immediate care.
Then you go in immediate care. How long you sit there?
A few days. You know what I'm saying? You get a few hours and you be back home. That's just a trip to granny house with the onions in your sock or
and
whatever.
The garlic.
And I mean, obviously these are physical ailments, but a disease starts from body, which starts from mind, which is the mind is the root. But the body is the flower from the mind. So the diet and the health practices. So back to where we
gut health is very important.
Right, and you can't if Granny can't feed you, you can't come over. It's a sign of disrespect to not eat someone's food.
Right. Facts.
But you don't need to do so much other work in your house with spirits and everything else in this if you cherish who you bring in your home. So like these are cultural traditions that kept us mentally balanced that we don't give credit for. So when we speak about saying, well, grandma's house gone, we just lost our immediate current center. As a culture, we lost our matriarch. We were exactly. So it was like, well, the black people ain't that. We always needed these people. We didn't, but y'all wanted to see. Y'all tell black people. We tell black people, other black people, that other minorities, that if we don't have our own hospital, we're failing. But we're not supposed to compete in the world of pharma K anyway. We're not. So now you have nurses who feel like they're failing because they're not doctors, and then you have grandma's remedies who feel like they you get what I'm saying. So it's the structure was there, but it was there was always one better cook. Everybody know that grandma TTs and them grandma cook better than all the other grandmas, right? And everybody go get their sweet potato pies from her. You get what I'm saying? But there was always a better healer too, though. Your granny got that shit from the good healer in the neighborhood, and that healer. It's definitely a hierarchy. That's what I'm saying. So now where we are mentally, segue back to the beginning of just where we was, is as far as just how we got to where we are is that disconnect of the knowledge, and then when that knowledge died, we had options. That took away your natural free will. Think about how crazy it sounds for your child to eat dirt. Right. But your child is smarter than you. Because the lithium that your hyper child may need is supposed to be in the soil. I'm not saying that it exists today. Right. But her unfiltered instincts are to go get it, but she knows she can't. We assume that it's a lack of knowledge that makes a child put things in their mouth. So what I'm hearing you say, like, comprehensively, because we didn't tap on a few things, but I feel that as far as what's overlooked as minorities and minority mental health challenges is a disconnect in every dimension that we take up space in. Everywhere. And that's why I said the knowledge can be, we can talk about mental health, we can talk about business, we can talk about life, we can talk about relationships, we can talk about love, spirituality. Anything that you put under that umbrella is going to result back to a lack of knowledge. But the second thing that I said that makes it, once you have, even if you're a person who has the knowledge, what are you going to do with it? Right. That's why I said the second issue is resourceful, because you have me and you sitting here collectively doing this on our own and distribute to a platform with hopes that it reaches the people correctly. But that's not a resource for direct change. It's a tool, and I want to use those words specifically because, like, a resource is when a person can tell you where a well is. Right. They can tell you where a well is. A resource is a referral. And a bucket is a tool that you're gonna go use when you get to the well. The well itself is a resource. Yeah. And like you said, we have no referral to resource. So but the resources are there. Indeed, the resources are there. So when grandma was the immediate care center, and she walked in the kitchen, she became the doctor. Right. But when she walked on the porch, she became the therapist. And when she walked in the bedroom and shut the door, she became the OGB. And after that, she walked upstairs in the kids' room and became a maid. And all of these different facets are being controlled. Yeah. That's why though. So when you disrupt gender roles, when you disrupt mental balances in those ways, I wanna wrap this into something. Humans are simple. In what ways? You have a left and a right, a up and a down.
Front and the back.
It makes sense for you to have two legs. The third leg would make things difficult. People think that that's the testament to balance in the world that we live in. It's the testament to being. It's the literal testament. You have one nose with two nostrils. You have one set of eyes, but one can't see the other thing with the other thing. You see just by a little bit though.
Right.
Your left side peripheral is minute, but it's necessary. So with this type of perfection, this type of harmony, it was made that way.
Yeah.
I'm not giving credit to any creator, but that's created in simplicity. So
wait. So you're making a really good point right now. I want to kind of pick your brain on whether you feel that a part of this disconnect has to do, and I'm speaking solely towards the entertainment industry. Do you think that a part of the disconnect, and possibly more related to cultural, has to do with how we view the body? And I said that very. I was gonna keep going, but I'm gonna. Because I feel that culturally, we feel that the body is a temple, right? As you were saying, that we have culturally, natural.
So I think historically, right? That's what I think is a better word. Historically.
For our culture.
Yeah, historically, that's our natural tradition.
For sure.
Correct. So we're tapped in, and I just want to use a word that our listeners may not.
Okay. Yes. Historically speaking, our culture believes that the body is a temple. So as we are talking about ways that we have treated it as a temple culturally, right? In the creative industry today, do you feel there is a disconnect with those beliefs?
Well, I think it's the same situation. We don't control the head. I don't know the exact quote. The mind of the man is in the Christ, and Christ is in the mind of the woman. You know, it's duality. As long as a man lives in the life that his woman is happy with, you do no wrong.
Yeah.
So, kind of ideal. We don't control the head anymore. And honestly, we never controlled the head of what's going on. So, to be responsible for that is to be oppressed. To be, and what I mean is to be responsible for the production of an environment that you don't head, right? I am a product of an environment.
True.
I learned and adapt and take over that environment. Then the environmentalist changes the environment.
Right.
So in that control, right, I can be a street nigga at 12. I can be a businessman at 30.
Yeah.
But the 12-year-old me has no connection to the people who were 30 when I was 12. Right? So now that I'm 30, the people who are 12 today have no connection to me. And I have no connection to the same 42-year-olds, or I'm sorry, those people would be, what are the 18 years? They would be 48 now.
My mother's generation.
Right, my mother's 50. Right? So now that's how big the gap of errors is. It's a complete K through 12.
Yeah.
Right? Because you gotta realize, we as humans, as people, as black minorities, have to realize that the last slave had, if they existed, have your beliefs go, but the last person that was severely oppressed was a senior in high school. But there was a kindergartner that was oppressed in kindergarten at that same time.
Wow.
Two different results are going to happen from that.
Right.
There's going to be a rebellious kindergartner who only got a little bit, right? So when he turns 18, he's going to have 1 year of oppression and 17 years of freedom.
Quote unquote.
Quote unquote. Right. Open-ended. But this other person is gonna have 18 years of oppression and 18 years of quote unquote freedom, right? So now I'm 36, they're 18, and I'm at peace with going to work and staying out the way and understanding shit ain't gonna change.
You've assimilated.
I've assimilated.
Yeah.
And I've also conformed to whatever I was given.
Mm-hmm.
They've learned to be rebellious. They are instinctive to want to reach out to their upper elders, which is me now.
Yeah.
And I'm feared and can't communicate with them because I am trying to press my 18 years of oppression on them, and they don't. So that's why I said we can't use the words like survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
That 12-year-old, that 18-year-old today, who was that first grader that I was talking about, he was not in survival mode. Mm-hmm. And here we are thinking we giving these younger kids generations advices and their life is better. Mm. We're literally shooting down the progress because we fell victim to the propaganda of dude, we fought. We was out in the streets. People died when we were younger. We think that it's happening more because we're the ones watching the news. Mm-hmm. We was outside too. We watched the news. We did. So when we was 12, we didn't know about the 30-year-olds who were dying. Mm-hmm. We didn't care. Yeah. Now we're 30 and we know about the 30-year-olds who are passing away and the 12-year-olds who are passing away. Everybody's getting married. Everybody's having kids. Right. Or life is whatever. Different. So all of those things to say, to be responsible as an entertainer for being successful in an environment. Because again, I never thought I would make it out of my environment. I was able to make it out of my environment. And when I mastered living in that environment, amateur in the next level. Mm-hmm. Whereas if I wasn't a minority, my regular life culture would have prepared me to enter whatever industry at intermediate level. What was next? Right. There was a what's next. So that's why I say it's not survival mode, it's preservation. We only know preserve. Meaning what? We're rationing. I know how to kill a cow. Lateral moves. Exactly, but I'm gonna ration this cow instead of killing 3. Because if I kill 3, I gotta have somewhere to store it, and I ain't got a refrigerator. Its problems come with abundance to black people. Thanks.
I just had this verse in my mind the other day. To whom much is given, much is required.
That's simple. It's so simple. Everything can be that simple.
Luke, something. It's in the book of Luke. But I ain't no Bible thumper. But every once in a while, you know what I'm saying? You're reminded. You're reminded. Like you said, with new levels, new devils. You ain't say it, but that's what I heard.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I'm glad you said that, right? That seed that was planted in that song has served its purpose. Mm-hmm. To wrap everything that we just said up and use that as a segue, like that's the whole point. Yeah. Right there. So know the whole song wasn't about whatever the message that's going to knock on your door when you need to was that. And you use that same parable in a place of progression. For sure. That's what we do with the Bible. For sure. That's what we do with these other places. Exactly. So that's what we are as entertainers. Because I have a great memory, we can segue back to the statement that got us on this. Entertainers are paid to be heroes in our culture.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Instead of tools.
That was good.
Instead of resources. So that's why it's so detrimental to the responsibility that we're given, because I'm put on a pedestal for surviving the streets. Yeah. But the head is in control of promoting the things that I survived as me being a good survivor.
Right.
And it's not true. I'm a grower. Yeah. That's what this mental, right? We're talking about mental awareness. We're not aware of the language. Niggas got 3-word depths. Yeah. What I mean by 3-word depths, we know about the degrees of separations, and I'm not saying that this is the title. I just said that here in a moment, but the depth of your vocabulary if I know how to say happy, excited, or exuberant, there ain't many niggas making it to exuberant.
Right. Right.
I'm saying, like, what you know what I mean? Like, what else? What other? So, in same sentencing, in same succession, we have to take that same consideration into mental health awareness.
Yeah.
I'm only calling myself a survivor. I gotta stop doing that.
Yeah.
Grandpa was a preserver.
Because it don't stop.
Yeah, because his mama was a survivor. That was two peas in the pod. Our grandparents was preservers. Our parents were what? Predecessors of preservers.
Yeah.
We are growers, risk takers. We're the growers. It's not, I can't carry the same label if I want to give credit to the curses that my previous family were already broken.
Right.
So, because my grandparents were married together, one. My mother had 2-parent household. And that's where the mental awareness comes in at. 2-parent household doesn't make it, a safe environment to teach growth and blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't make it healthy either.
I'm saying if it is,
though, it's exactly. So because I didn't have a father, that doesn't mean that I didn't get to see my grandparents. I can't do that. I can't do that. My mother and my father messed that up, but I'm not carrying their burdens because that's not my core tradition. I gotta go back to the New Testament. I gotta go back to the Old Testament of my family. I don't go look for them for answers. I go look to, but like I said, my 21-year-old cousin doesn't have my grandmother to lean on. But if my grandparents had hate, mother or daughter, Bible Belt, I can't tell them who I really am, relationships, shelter, culture, traditions of trauma, because me and my mama was at each other's shame, disappointment, and competition. So when you're dealing with all of that, and so my mother may want to teach my sister some, her granddaughter some things, right? My mother may want, this isn't real, but I'm just saying, my mother may want to teach her granddaughter things.
Right.
But the relationship that my sister, her daughter, had with my grandmother is not the same relationship that my mother had with her mother. Right. So the information skips a generation. Me and my sister was being watched by my granny while my mother was out living. Yeah. That's what happened. Culturally across the world for minority Black people. That's what happened. Yeah.
For a lot of people, yeah.
No, that's what happened. This isn't for a lot of people. Everybody had Ricky Freeway Ross. Everybody had BMF Meach. Everybody's city got extrapolated and exploited with drugs at the same time. This isn't an idea. This is reality. Yeah, that's what I was saying. This is a fact. This isn't a philosophy. This is factual about our people. Yeah. But I'm showing you how that happened. So think about it. Your kids go to TT house today and get on the iPad. When we was at grandma's house, wasn't no iPad. It was lessons in life. Get over here, pick this wood. Get over here, take that out. Get over here, cut this grass. Get over here, change that. I'm finna go work on my car. Come on with me. Yeah. Granny in there couldn't get out of there. That's the girls in there talking. You need to come here. This grown folks moving. So again, our generation. That's why our generation is special. People they want to know why. This is gonna make it the way it's supposed to go to the answers. That's why. Because our parents went out, the 50-year-olds, the 47 to 57s went out and left us with granny. Yeah. So now we have the tools that they were supposed to have while they were being rebellious to the Bible. While they were being rebellious to the Bible Belt. But then they see us as rebelling them, and we are. Because we're following instructions that pull trauma out of them. Because you remind me of my daddy. You remind me of my mom.
I'm covering my eyes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's how we end up in this cycle of trauma where there's a combative force and then you have some of us who are weak and say, well, you know what, I'm gonna be sheltered and I'm gonna be quiet and I'm gonna internalize and I'm not gonna fight with my mother. But if you knew that you were still fighting for your family's core traditions that your grandmother
taught,
lineage,
your bloodline.
But we should understand now why you and your mother have a fight, because you're literally practicing what you was taught from grandma, and that's the same thing she been rebelling since she was a kid. You still you fighting at her core beliefs. If she's unhealed. if she's unhealed,
mm-hmm.
that's what we're fighting with
Absolutely.
each other. So
absolutely, that's in every industry.
yeah, this
ain't
is
even
this
just
is
family
cultural.
dynamics. It's generational.
When you
in
meet
the
another black
community,
person, they're going to be dealing with that too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I even want to just take the time to just shine a light on, leadership, coming across skin folk in leadership. It is very much so friction because of the generational differences, because of the generational jealousy, or
they're qualified monetarily. If we're looking at education, but they're not equipped and experienced with people like us.
Nope. Especially in this economy, in this
climate.
You know what I'm saying? Like
societal climate. Yeah. And again, think about it on a bigger. So like they're the this isn't a beat down anyone older and give praises to us because we're messed up from a lot of things. Sure. We're messed up from absences. Our generation of 30-year-olds, 27 to 36, have attachment issues. We are too because we was getting left. No, right. We have attachment issues. We're too independent. We are prideful. We're stubborn to a fault, but you have to be delusionally stubborn to do some of the things that we're accomplishing. But at the same time, like what I want to say in sympathy for the 46 to 57, right? They are the most lost right now. And it's not their fault. It's not. They believe that it's us. They believe that it's because they see how we do and what we doing ain't societally correct. It's not traditional enough. It's too unorthodox for them to. Well, they was the last tradition. They was the last generation to do it traditionally. But the reason why I said they lost is because I would label their cultural generation as a generation. They've only been tempted to live like us their whole life. Now that they're old enough to even have access to live like us, they're too old to do it. They have too much to lose to do it. So they're still living in a fake world because they wanted to have dances like we have now. And they see it now. And they see it now and they hate it because this is all they ever wanted. Yep. But not realizing that they are the ones that grew this for us. Yeah. They was the Too Short, Uncle Luke, Foxy Brown. We still talk about entertainers. They was the one. That man went to the Supreme Court and changed the landscape of the world. Yeah. For us to have the freedom to do this thing that we do, again, great memory with our bodies. Yeah. You said about our bodies being a temple. It's like this is back to that. It's not fair to be responsible for that. We're not the head. We're not the head. This is what it is. Woo! Y'all, that was only question number 1. That's crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next question. But I feel like we've covered it in different perspectives with our previous questions and conversations. What do you feel is the main barrier to minority mental health treatment in your industry? People actually being intentional on looking into where this disconnect is. I want to do that in 2 parts. First part being reiteration. We don't control the head, and we're heroes. So, like we love our people. We really do. We love our heroes. I love Beyonce. I pray that she's a good person. I don't know her, but I love her though. You know what I'm saying? Why she needs security? Yeah. Psychologically speaking, why does she need security? Everywhere. Why? We love you. Right. Oof. Like you should be able to walk around here and say, "Excuse me, back up." Right. And just keep walking. You should be able to say, "Hey, baby, not today. I'm having a rough one today." And keep it moving freely. But you've never done that. They don't want to hear that. How do you know?
Yeah.
I can't say that she's never done it because I don't know, but I'm saying though, like it's I say that because like psychologically speaking, how fair is that for you to survive the environment that you were placed in with other people, and that same thing be what stops you from helping your people? It's the same thing.
Right. Damn.
We talk about it so freely, like you can't even go to Kroger. What type of conversation would Beyonce be able to have with a motherfucker in line if she could just go to Kroger? She would be able to go to Kroger and tell you something that'll change the whole hood because you're gonna go tell everybody else what you, but y'all want pictures and sign and do what? Imagine. I'm talking about Walmart only got a couple people checking people out. Imagine if Beyonce got standing line like everybody else, and it's just your lucky day.
Right.
And she'd be like, "Look, man, you got an IRA. You got a but what you want? You want her to pay for your groceries,
right?
That's because we in survival mode. That's the point that I'm making. And she shouldn't be placed in a hero position. That's so to tell you like what's the barrier. Every time we make it out, they hero us, and we think that that's the place to be. Like, oh, Jay, you can't wait till you make it, Jay. They're gonna hero you. Once they hero you, you have you. So. And
then what are the pressures that come with being a hero?
Let me ask you
this. What
does
that look like?
Which, how many, okay, so how many superheroes do you know are displayed like Clark Kent, right? I'm saying like, who is it? Clark Kent gets to go back and be who he could be his real self for a while and then go back and be Superman. And you got, I think Spider-Man bounces back between the two. X-Men. You got Incredible Hulk. Bounce back between the two. You got, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we don't get we don't get that type of hero status. We get like King Kong. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of Marvel characters we get. We get Black Panther. Like he was just that's it.
Yeah.
Once you put that shit on, that's it. But it's no. I'm trying to think of
your one purpose.
I'm trying to think of like was Storm? Did Storm switch outfits? Was she like?
I think she did.
I'm just saying though, and I'm not even saying this literal black characters, but I mean that's the difference in the types of heroes.
Yeah.
Like we get it's a difference. And when I say hero, I just mean that think about it, inaccessible. Inaccessible is a place of success for a black person.
Miraculous.
How could that possibly be successful? And you got Jimmy, you got Gary Vee, and you got all these other, you got Jeff Bezos, and you got all these other billionaires having TED Talks and chilling with 8 people. And well, Ted still drives an old Camry, and he rides around and wears whatever he wants, and he walks around, no security out. Damn, is that Bill Gates? What you gonna do to him?
Yeah.
The fear of what you know, who you know he is, keeps you from messing with him. The inaccessibility makes you crazy about a superstar. So you can't even control yourself when they walk around because you don't have the chance to be susceptible to them. Yeah. So if B was walking around Houston all the damn time, nobody would be happy to see her no more. That's a beautiful thing because now she can stop in line and give game to the hood.
Right.
She can come to church without her. She come to church right now. The pastor's not gonna get his message off. It's gonna be a picture fest. Right. And she better take the pictures.
Literally in church.
In church. All of these things are part of the systematic mental gap that that's the main barrier. Like to be a successful black person is to become unaccessible. That is the problem. The root of entertainment issues. I can't tell you what I know if you can't talk to me. And then I water that, I feed that. I pop up with 20 security guards.
But do you feel like that's limited to African Americans only? Because I thought when I was in college, a lot of Africans, they were, different countries, but their goal was to come get their degree and go back home.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? Go back to where they came from, and
because America's a tool, not a resource.
Okay, so African American culture.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
But the people.
But yeah, because African American is we're black. Black ain't African.
Right.
At all.
That's why I was hesitant to
even
say. You see my
face? I know we know, but I said they can figure it out later. You know what I'm saying? But
we be talking about this shit, y'all.
Yeah, man. Like this. I mean,
I agree with you.
It's just a super disconnect, and it's nothing good comes from being heroed, and that's a term that I just I'm making up and using, but it's like that's the answer to that for me, because without that, imagine if every superstar could just walk the streets of their American state and really post up.
But to segue off of back to the healing and connecting it to being heroed. I remember somebody saying once, like, one of the hardest parts about therapy is learning how to humanize your parents. Mm-hmm. Because we do look at them in a heroic role or heroic label, right? Because at one point, you were my only. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And we carry that expectation throughout life, but at some point, we're supposed to evolve and know that our parents were, just quote unquote human. Yes, there can be a forgiveness phase, a healing phase.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, that is the disconnect. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of us aren't there yet to really put the pen on mom is upset that she couldn't get her dreams and I have the resources to do it myself now. They don't know how to have those conversations. I'm just thinking about the disconnects on every level. Generationally, family dynamics, career industry. It's just, it's everywhere.
We can always apply to industries of rap, and that's what I said. I wear multiple hats and I apply them in different facets. Like, obviously, visual work. I shoot videos. I've shot with U of L. I've shot with multiple facets of life, and everything that I feel like we spoke about today is applicable to our culture. It isn't entertainment based. That's my facet of life, and it is a great responsibility, like I said. But at the same time, take the music from the church house to the streets was our original responsibility. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that we were making clerical music, but hip hop specifically was coded progression. It was our first times writing the word in code. And they caught a hold of that and took over their head.
Yeah.
And that's why the language and ideas of it are different today. And I participate in it because it's still our reality.
Facts.
I'm never going to not paint the picture for what it is today, because they're going to rewrite the history.
Yeah.
So we need Sexy Red, and we need everybody who's involved in our culture today to tell the truth about what they may not be, what we've allowed them to be, what we've allowed them to make us. We need people to tell them the raw truth.
What role they've played.
It's just what it is. Yeah. It don't come out like that in a while. Mm-hmm. So I was putting this on TV. It's gonna make sense that it wasn't right. But we need that representation of ourselves in its rawest form in order to document this phase of history.
It's a mirror.
It's a revelation. It's a renaissance to pose to self in such a way. So just to be mentally aware as minorities, like, we need to see the truth, the true depths of who we are. And if it offends us, it's a great thing. It is a great call across the nation that to see ourselves in real light offended us. It's the only way you grow.
That's deep. I'm gonna go ahead and start to wrap this up, because we can go as long as we can. But the last thing I want to ask you is, when you think about your career path, all the industries that you've taken up space in, what role has mental health played in your career path?
I mean, I feel like honestly, it's been everything for me. My music has been my therapy, my place, and not just the actual doing the music and creating the words and the lyrics, but I make the beats and I shoot the videos and I edit the videos. So as a person who has 7 different avenues to express myself, I feel for the people who don't have any. So when I think people misconstrue the literacy of saying like I have a voice as an artist, but it's deeper than just actually making music that you hear sonically. I paint a picture, my visuals. I can spend time expressing myself. Like I said, I have 7 ways to express myself under one musical umbrella. Sometimes I'm angry, but I don't have to rap angry. I can make an angry beat. You know, I can shoot a video and spend hours on it in order to free my mind. I can write my songs in truth and not have to talk about it and get response about things that one may not be comfortable sharing or being vulnerable with. If I put my real truth out, then I can get 1,000 therapists, a million therapists. I can have a million conversations with growth because I'm speaking my truth. So when I get messages from the people who listen to my music and rock my beats or see my videos, they get it. Those are the people that matter to me because those are the ones that I need. So that's fine. Not even the need that I need to be successful. That's the reciprocated energy. My call out for help. My music is a call out for help. But it's a call out to help for people to move parallel with me. I want you to move with me in unison. I want you to move parallel with me. And I say that because again, I tell them the truth about how I feel. People who really feel like that come tell me. That's how I build a congregation, a community of people who just need to know that it's other of us out there. And it works. So it appears to be success to someone else. I'm just doing disciple work, not building fans. We perfect disciples with the you gotta believe movement. And a disciple of whatever you may feel is greater. It doesn't be, it's not a Christian thing or a Buddhist or Muslim or it's not a religious thing. You just endowing power upon people. And wherever you place that power. You want to talk a little bit about You Gotta Believe and how that was birthed? I mean, this kind of from this, honestly, like we started with Young Gifted Black, so YGB has been my acronym ever. Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah. So Young Gifted Black is like where we started at with my friends. You Gotta Believe is what we ended up manifesting. I needed something that was more original. So like growing up, I've dealt with that Y standing for everything but you. It stands for young something. Young Gutter, Young Gangster, Young Gucci, Young. I done heard every acronym you can think of, but You Gotta Believe is a lifestyle. You Gotta Believe is a tool to religion. I want anyone to be able to use You Gotta Believe as a tool, something that knocks on your door when you need a neighbor. It's like a open-ended affirmation. I'm following suit with Muhammad Ali, the greatest. I like that. It's the same thing, but I felt less. I wanted to grow. So I wanted to make mine less about me. That's fire. That's fire. I think in total, as far as the creative industry, most people can agree to the fact that anything involving creativity has to do with self-expression and being able to have that outlet to express yourself, not necessarily writing all about it or posting all about it. Some people might journal about it, but to be able to turn your thoughts, your feelings, your lifestyle into art is very beautiful. It is. It's very beautiful. So I thank you for sharing
Um, this was beautiful. I really enjoyed this. I'm glad that um, we finally got to sit down and make it happen. I told y'all this been busy, but I appreciate you, Jalen, for coming on and being your raw self as usual. You want to let the people know where they can find you?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I want to say I appreciate you. Um, if they listen, then there'll be a depth to me that they probably never heard or seen before.
Mm-hmm.
So, getting exclusive.
Yeah.
Exclusive Jalen right now. You drop my government on these
It's a
people.
privilege.
Yeah, but follow me on all social media, YGB, JAY, anywhere that you enjoy being social, anywhere that you enjoy listening to music. You gotta believe Mr. Jack of all trades. I'm glad that I could team up with you, Chelsea,
Yeah.
and talk about us.
So, it was dope. It was dope. Thank you again. All right, y'all. That's our time. This was Beauty and Brains season 3, episode 1. We talk about minority mental health awareness. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode as much as we did. Stay tuned because we ain't done.